Hey guys, today I want to show you how to do the uppercase letters in Faux calligraphy. I'm on page 8 and 9 of the fall workbook, and I'm just going to put some tracing paper over the top, and we'll just walk through each of these and how to draw them. So the letter A is going to start at the baseline, move up to the ascender line, and back down to the baseline. And to cross it, it's called a crossbar. You just do it like this. The portion that we're adding the thickness to the letter is going to be right here. Because remember, when we're doing faux calligraphy, anytime we're moving our pen down, we're going to have thick lines. And anytime we're moving our pen up, we're going to have thin lines. So we just want to make sure to apply that to all the letters. So the next letter is a B. This one has a little upstroke, downstroke, and then two kind of O forms stacked on each other. And then we'll loop back around. And the portions where we're moving our pen down are going to be here, and here, and here. Okay, the letter C. I'm just going to move my tracing paper over. The capital letter C is really similar to the lowercase letter c. It's basically an O form, but you're just going to kick out the bottom to the right. And then we're just going to add the thickness to this side, because that's the portion where we're moving our pen down. D, it's going to be a little upstroke, downstroke, and then a big O form, and then looped around. So we'll add the thickness here and here. And then there's E. This one is kind of like two O forms together. And the thickness would be on this side. And you can see when it's a curved, when the pen's moving down and it's going into a curve, I try to taper it into just the one line of pen. So it shouldn't be abrupt looking. Next is F. I'm not sure why I started the A so far over. That's basically what a T is. So you're learning two letters right there, and then it has a little crossbar. And the portion we're moving our pen down in is this side. Capital letters are actually quite difficult. A lot of people who do lettering don't do capitals, or they kind of avoid them because they're not based on the basic strokes. They're a little bit harder. But I think you guys can do it. This one is just two downstrokes and then a crossbar for the H. Since we're moving our pen down on both those sides, that's where you'd add the thickness. And I think it just looks nice when you're doing an envelope or a card or something and you do capitalize the words or the names that should be capitalized. So it's good to practice these. That's an I. Then we have a J. And we're moving our pen down right in that portion. So that's the only part that would have thickness. And we have a K, which is going to be a downstroke. This is really pretty similar to a lowercase k. And you'll find that with lots of these uppercase letters, there's similarities to their lowercase counterparts. L. This one's kind of a loopy letter, and the portion we're moving down is going to be right here. M is really similar to the lowercase m. Kind of got the same thing going on here. We're going to have a downstroke, a tall overturn, and then a compound curve. And that's an M. And so we would add thickness any place where we're moving our pen down. And the next one is N, which is again the same as the lowercase. It's a downstroke, and then a compound curve. So we'll add the thickness here. Okay, then let's move over to the rest of the letters that are on page 9. We'll go to O. This one again is really similar to the lowercase. The only difference is I just kind of broke it up and left some space there. And sometimes it's fun to do that just to give it a little bit of a different look. So those two spots are where the thickness would be. And then we have P, which is really similar to the lowercase, which is nice. Then Q. Which is basically an O, and then it has the tail of the Q right there. Then just add your thickness. R. It's going to be a downstroke, an O form, and almost an underturn. And we'll add our thickness. That one got a little thick on that side. That's okay. S. This one looks really similar to the lowercase version. And it's going to be this whole side that's a downstroke, where we'd add the thickness. A T, we've already seen this with the F. It's the same. And then U, again, is like the lowercase, it's two underturns together. V. So for the fall box, we're going to be doing a mono script lettering, which is basically these without the thickness added. And the reason why we're doing two similar styles in a row is to be able to practice and really kind of master it. And these are going to give you the basics for February, or the first box of the quarter or of the year is going to be brush lettering. And so I really think this is going to be really helpful to learn about where the thickness is and the thin lines with the faux calligraphy, and just practicing these basic shapes of the letters is really going to help you when we get to the box with brush lettering, which is going to be so fun. That's my personal favorite. And so I think you guys are going to really love it. Y, that one was a little bumpy. And then the last one is a Z. And the thickness would just be on the diagonal of the Z. So those are all the capital letters. And again, that's page 8 and 9 of the workbook where you can practice that. And what I like to do sometimes, my little workbook's out of order, but the very last page just has blank guides. So I like to just put some tracing paper over the blank guide and just practice in order. After I've done some of these, then I'll just practice on my own and play around a little bit. So let me know if you have any questions on these uppercase letters.